You currently locked in to season 3 of the Porch podcast. It's your boy B Jones, aka Bolo, and you know when I'm pulling up to the porch, I can't pull up without my dog.
What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Big Smitty, aka D Nice, and you heard my boy Bolo just said, this is the porch. Welcome.
Started on the porch, that was where it all began. Had to put in work, every day we got it in. We chased all our dreams and now they can't believe it. We make it look easy, we achieving everything we need. Now we undefeated.
Yes, sir. We back, baby. We back again.
You know, we back like good crack.
Yes, sir. That's an old school saying right there. How you doing, brother, man? You looking good today, man. How you feeling?
Man, I'm good, blessed, highly favored, bro. Can't complain, man. Just another day on God's green earth. You know, y'all already know how we coming up on the porch. You know, I'm always giving the man above just the most love. So I'm good, bro. How you doing?
I'm good, man. Grinding as usual. Back in the studio, man. Working on a new show for Fox. We're about to launch next week. So just been just grinding. You know what I'm saying? That's the best way to describe how I've been. But I'm good. I'm healthy. I'm blessed and excited to be back here on the porch with my brother. We got a great show for y'all today, man. We're going to dive into some sports, some football. Football season is here. You've been talking about it all year, Bolo. It's finally here.
Hey, look. Mamas, daddies, it's time to put the Coco Melon up, the Gracie's Corner, okay? All of the, the kids stuff. Turn on some football, y'all. It's time, all right? It's time for us to take over our TVs, all right? Because it's going to be Thursday football, Friday football, Saturday football, Sunday football, and Monday football.
Come on now.
Gosh, y'all, we're going to have 5 days of football, at least till we get to November.
And then when November get here, we're going to have some action on the Tuesday.
Some action on Tuesday.
Action on Wednesday.
We'll have NFL on Saturday. It's just, y'all, it's a beautiful time, y'all. I keep telling y'all the fall has turned in to be one of my favorite seasons just for this reason. The nice weather, you throw the Timbs on, they got the flannels out, you got you some pumpkin spice, you watching football at night and the day. I mean, it don't get too much better than that, bro.
Bro, I might not leave my house, leave my couch this entire weekend. We got college football this weekend, then we got NFL the next, bro. Think about this. Every single weekend from now until like mid-February, we're going to have football.
Love it.
Woo! And they say God ain't good.
God ain't good. God is good all the time. And all the time what?
God is good. Come on now, man. Stop playing, man. Our partners at Bet Online continue to be the #1 source for all your betting needs and sports info. Find all of the latest sports developments, including updated odds on NBA playoffs, fights, and even next season's futures. And don't forget that the MLB is back as well. Who are you picking to win the World Series? Bet Online is your continued source for all your sports wagering needs, including live betting and your favorite Vegas casino and poker games. It's super easy to get started. So head to the website today or use your mobile device to join and use our promo code BELIEVE. That's BLEAV, BELIEVE, to receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet Online, where the game starts.
Hey, before we get into the show though, okay, we left y'all on a cliffhanger and we got to just seal this conversation up, okay? And it's going to take 5 seconds on my end, okay? There never should have been a conversation about Indy chicken and Chicago chicken because we all know Chicago chicken is better than Indy chicken. And for the people that was trying to go crazy on me in the comments, let me let y'all know. I've had the angel wings, okay, from Chatham Tap. All right, I've had the Hermanike wings from El Emporium.
Talk to me though. Hold on. Don't just say that. Don't just say that.
They're really good chicken wings. But a city like Indianapolis cannot compete with Chicago. And I ain't even tell y'all about the jerk chicken that we coming with. I ain't even tell y'all about some of the pubs we got in Wrigleyville. They coming with the chicken. I'm just trying to let y'all know. But I'm going to just seal and wrap this conversation up to let y'all know Chicago has the best chicken. Okay,
man. Listen, I had to pull my.
I love Indy chicken. I ain't gonna lie. I'm not hating on Indy chicken and say it's not good. I just know people in Chicago make better chicken. And that's fair. That's my opinion.
Bro, I see you wearing a cap today, and I guess that's why you're capping right now on the podcast, man. I had to pull my phone out while you was talking and go to these comments because had a lot of people from my city, man, showing support.
People in Indy be going nuts.
Hey, shout out to Papa Bear's Chicken, man, because they reposted our video and they was at your neck, Bolo. I ain't gonna lie.
That was at my neck. They might as well go ahead and send me a 6-piece, all right, to let me know what's up. And then I can change my mind. But until then, I ain't changed my mind because I've had every piece of chicken in Indy up until this point, but I ain't had that chicken. So whenever I get some chicken, until then, you know, I'm always say, you know, from the chicken that I've tasted, Chicago has a better chicken.
Bro, but where you messed up as when you said all our chicken tastes the same. People did not like that.
Now, let me do this before we move on. Okay. I was saying the normal chains though, like everybody got the chicken spots around the way, you know what I mean? Even in Chicago, it's a lot of different chicken spots around the way. But like a Harold's is like, you had Harold's chicken, bro, in LA the other day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Got a Harold's in Atlanta, you know what I'm saying? So that's like a common place that everybody essentially get chicken from, just like Jordan's and Fisher's is. So I can only go off of, you know, the commonality of the area of, you know, where people originally are getting the chicken from. I don't care who make it, how it's being made. That's that representation. You feel what I'm saying?
Well, it sounds like you got some work ahead. You need to eat at some more spots because a lot of people in the chat. I haven't been home in a minute, so I haven't had Papa Bear's chicken yet.
So.
But shout out to B Swift, man, the voice of Indianapolis, man. He said B Swift said Papa Bear's is fire too, bro. Come on now, B Swift ain't gonna lie. He ain't gonna lie to us.
He not, but he is nap or die though. He is nap or die.
Hold on, no, listen.
And that.
This is my biggest point. I'm gonna drop the mic. Your wife said Harold's is overrated in the comments. Shout out to Kayla. Mic drop.
But she's an Indianapolis native too, so she gonna say the same thing. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying Harold's is the greatest chicken on the planet. I'm not saying that because there have been times where I've had bad batches. Okay, everybody has had bad batches of chicken, even from your favorite chicken spot. Okay, but at the end of the day, when I'm thinking about the best chicken that I've had, it has came from Chicago. I've had El Emporium. I've had Chatham Tap. I've had Chef Tia. I've had all of those pieces of chicken. I've tasted them all. But my judgment is still going back with what I believe. So y'all can argue with me till y'all blue in the face. I mean, my thought is my thought. But shout out to Indy Chicken, though, because I still be fucking y'all chicken up, though. I still be slamming y'all chicken, though. I ain't gonna lie and say I'll be eating that chicken. I just had some Jordans the other day. I ain't gonna say.
Was it good? Would you clean the bone?
It was fire. But it ain't better than, you know what I mean, what I used to be getting though. But it's fire though, and I'm still gonna support and pay my bread to places. You know what I mean? So any chicken spot in Indy, you know what I'm saying? If y'all want to drop y'all tags, we'll pull up. We'll pull up and we'll show y'all love on the porch. I ain't bashing no chicken spot. You know what I'm saying? I'm just letting y'all know what I think tastes better. But hey, I can't put my thought and opinion on it though if I ain't tasted yet. So I'm down for whatever. But I've had quite a few pieces of chicken out there in Indianapolis, so I've made my rounds just a little bit.
Hook my boy up with a free 6-piece. Any local chicken spots in Indy who want to prove you got the best chicken, hook my boy Bolo with a free 6-piece and a biscuit.
Go ahead, hit the DMs, man. We'll make a way to go over there.
But let's transition, man, to our topic of the day, man. Enough chicken talk. Before we get to our sports topic, we want to talk on a more serious note here. So there's been a lot of talk about these. Yeah, man. There's been a lot of talk about these RICO cases and how police officers and the government is starting to use rap lyrics to build their cases. There's a lot of different opinions online on if this is right, if this is wrong. So, Bolo, I'm gonna throw it to you first, man. What are your thoughts? Do you think rap lyrics should be used to build up cases?
I say no. Only reason why I say no is because rap is an art, you know what I'm saying? So, there are situations where people are, being overly dramatic or using an expression to get a point across. And it sells, you know what I'm saying? So, you got these kids growing up and they listening to this music, obviously sometimes they overindulge in the music and they sometimes live through the music, which isn't the greatest thing. But, a lot of these people who are rappers, they ain't nothing but actors who can, obviously put rhymes together because, from the videos that you see with all the fancy clothes and the cars and the cash and stuff, some of that shit is just a facade. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people not really living like that. A lot of people just are, showing that image, and that's the way they get paid, and that's the way, they want to be portrayed. So I don't think somebody should be necessarily, attacked for, using that specific way to make money. That's just my thought.
Nah, that's a good point. That's a good point, man. So for me, it's kind of two sides. So on one side, I say no, they should not be allowed to build a new case based upon rap lyrics because of everything you just said. A lot of rap in music is fake, it's phony, they're storytelling. They're talking about stuff that they've heard or maybe seen in their neighborhood, but it doesn't mean they themselves were actually involved. Right. But I will say this. I was thinking about this all day long. And if the officers already have a case on someone based upon real life evidence, and then that song backs up the evidence that they already have, and I do think they should be allowed to use that. And I just think it's like, man, like if I have actual facts that you're doing X, Y, and Z, and then you're dumb enough to go on the mic and say you're doing X, Y, Z, right? Well, now, I'm gonna use that in the case to arrest your ass. So, like, again, I'm like, for the most part, I'm with you, Bolo, where like, listen, it's art. A lot of it's fake. Right. And it's a dangerous thing to start saying, oh, okay, you're rapping about this, so it must be real. Let's arrest you. Because think about actors in a movie. Like, I know that seems like it's different, but these people are acting as killers, as robbers, whatever. You can't arrest an actor for acting like those criminals. So the same thing when it comes to music, you can't do that. But again, if you have real life, real world facts and evidence of allowing you to build a case on this rapper, and the music is just kind of supporting that, I do understand why that should be used.
And I agree. I didn't want to go with the double-sided way. I just think, people shouldn't be, prosecuted for what they say. Right. Specifically, but I do think a lot of people do get themselves in trouble, especially seeing that, like you said, if Billy went down the street and, hopped out a minivan and shot Joe in the back, don't, throw that on the beat and say, Billy just jumped out the ride and shot Joe in the back. And, that's that. Like, that's like, okay, like that actually just happened. And then you're going to rap about it. Like, that don't make sense. Then you ought to get caught up because you damn try snitching at this point. You know what I'm saying?
On yourself.
Right. And then it was funny because I was listening to the Breakfast Club this morning and they were asking call-ins about it. And a guy came in and he made a lot of sense. He like, a lot of people, they just indict themselves. When they say you have the right to remain silence, like anything you say or do can be used against you in the court of law. Like, even though, we have free speech, whatever you say could be used against you in the court of law. So you need to take that as law and be able to maneuver differently. But now I will say, hearing like the Minister Farrakhan and, hearing like Charlamagne say, hey, like these rappers just need to change up what they say and how they say it. But I'm like, that's what sells. Like, how can a rapper pivot and jump into a different area and still be successful if what they're doing now is what's actually selling records? Like, that's what's attracting this generation, unfortunately, but it's a ways to make money. Like, how do they pivot from that?
I think if you're a real artist, you're real creative, you have to know how to pivot. I think there's no way, if you're a true artist or a true creator, there's no way that there's only one lane for you or this is the only thing that I can do. No, there has to be a way for you to rap in a different way, rap about different content, or rap about the same content, but do it in a way to where it's not
take the edge off.
Yeah, take the edge off, or just so it's not literally specific to what you're doing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can story tell about, old news stories, or just a more of a general conversation.
Generalization, yeah.
Exactly. It doesn't have to be so specific. Kind of like the example you said, Billy saw Joe hop out the car, then shot him. Like, what? Like, you're literally just telling on yourself. It don't even make sense.
Yeah, like, and it's a lot of cap in rap too. So, that kind of probably give people excuses to, not be overly aggressive in the music. Because it's funny, bro, because as older and older I get, I really can only listen to rap for so long, bro. Like, as much as I love like rap, like I can only like tolerate it for so long until I'm like, okay, I need to change up the vibe a little bit, because some of this music literally be hypnotizing. You be like, damn, I'm trying to, go to a party, turn up, or I'm about to pop up out the car, try to make you want to fight, make you want to just do a whole bunch of crazy stuff and all that rah-rah. I'd be like, okay, I'm cool, y'all. I'm gonna just throw some R&B on now because I need to slow it down right now, for real. It's a lot going on.
I feel you, man.
You know what I'm saying?
But y'all let us know, man. I mean, obviously it's a very interesting topic, and people are literally getting locked up for this. So you gotta let us know in the comments, man, what y'all think. Should rap lyrics be used to build cases? But moving forward, though, man, we got to jump into sports. We told y'all at the beginning, it's football season. This is officially week 1 of the college football season. So there's no better way to start off this topic than to ask this. What is your preseason pick for national champion this year? But let me go first. I'm going with Bama. I'm going with Alabama. And I know people will say, oh, that's cliche. It's cliche. I don't care. It's hard to – Bama is like the New England Patriots of old. It's hard to bet against them, number one, because they're so great. You got the greatest college football coach of all time in Nick Saban. They're always top 5 every single year in the recruitment class. Top 5, top 10 at worst. And they just went to that national championship last year and took an L to Georgia. So they're coming back hungry. They don't like to lose. So I just felt like Alabama's going to come back hungry. They got the reigning Heisman Trophy winner and Bryce Young at QB. And I mean, he can only get better. He's a young guy. So I got to go with Bama, man. But I got a feeling what you're going to say, Bolo, but I want to hear it.
Hey, I'm going with O State, man.
Of course.
I'm going with O State. Here's why. Not only because I'm biased, because, we got fam on the team, but I mean, I've been an O State fan, and they got guys, man. Like, they got guys who I think can compete in the SEC against those teams in the SEC this year. You know what I mean? Strong offensive line. The skill guys are coming back. Only thing that may pose as a potential red flag is the secondary. Okay. That's probably the only thing. But from the running game, from the quarterback, who is going to be a potential first-round pick, and also maybe projected a first-round pick and also a Heisman winner, C.J. Stroud, I think that offensive attack is going to put points on the board. And I just think, Ryan Day has done a great job with just assembling this strong crew, because I think I counted – they got probably about 12 to 17 players who can potentially get drafted, 12 of which could possibly go in the first round for Ohio State. You know what I'm saying? Crazy. And then I think 3 or 4 can potentially go top 10. You know what I'm saying? So I just think, with the skills, we're looking at the roster for roster. Their roster probably can compete against any other roster when it comes to, playing, those SEC teams, essentially, because that's what it's about. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, we'll obviously O State will have the Michigans to play. They'll have like the Michigan States, and they'll have, those sleeper games where they really got to come out because teams are throwing everything at them. But most of all, when you go to those playoffs, though, it's about playing those SEC teams and getting down and being able to coach. You know what I'm saying? Like, being able to make the right plays, because the talent is going to be there. I think we'll be able to get it done, man. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see some O State Bama action, just like
ooh, man,
back in the day when my boy Cardale ran all over at Bama back in 2014, 15, I believe.
Around there, yeah. And shout out to Cardale. I played against him in high school. That man was a monster.
Yeah.
But listen, I'm actually an Ohio State fan as well. I don't have, obviously, Ball State chirp. Outside of Ball State, I don't have like a huge tie to any team. So yeah. I wouldn't be shocked at all if Ohio State did win it all. And man, I would love to see a national championship game with Bama and Ohio State with all that NFL talent on both sides. I mean, that would be
an NFL game, essentially.
Oh man, it'd be like the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? But let me ask you this: it's week 1 coming up, college football season. What game are you most excited about? Like, which game are you looking forward to? You got circled on your schedule for this weekend.
Man, I'm so bad I won't make the game, but super excited just to see O State play Notre Dame, man. Primarily because it's a top 10 matchup. They got Notre Dame ranked at 5. Obviously, O State's ranked at number 2. So obviously a top 5 matchup, really, and it's prime time. You know what I mean? It's a 7:30 game. First game of the year. Essentially, they'll be playing in the shoe. Notre Dame is ranked extremely high. I'm not the biggest Notre Dame fan, so Porch listeners, don't hate me. I'm usually always, going on the other side of the totem pole. People who listening, but they are overly ranked. They are overly ranked. I think they, at best, should be, within like 10 to 15, maybe in the 20s, but not a top 5 team. You got a quarterback who has never, seen the light of day before, who's really going to get his first piece of action at 7:30 against Ohio State. You know what I mean? So we'll see how he responds. The only reason why I'm kind of skeptical, because you never know what to expect on the first game of the year. The first game of the year, there's going to be a lot of jitters. There'll be a lot of nervousness. There'll be a lot of mistakes. So, with that alone, it may be a decent game. But at the end of the day, man, CJ Stroud and that offensive attack, bro, it's just gonna be a matter of, can Notre Dame offense compete with Ohio State's offense, because Ohio State is gonna score the ball. But I want to see if this sophomore quarterback that's coming in at Notre Dame is gonna be able to put points on the board. But as of right now, I'm damn near giving O State 17 to 21 points on Notre Dame. I think they'll run through them. I think it'll be a good game in the first couple quarters, but they'll eventually pull away. And I shout out to the head coach at Notre Dame. I know he had maybe 10 to 12 top All-Americans come over there more recently. So he's still in the process of building a program over there, with it being his first official full year as a head coach. But you guys are overrated, though, at Notre Dame. So I definitely got O State winning the game at least by 17 or 21 points.
Wow, the blowout. First of all, I have to agree that I do think that's the obvious, clear game of week 1. I mean, Notre Dame, Ohio State, top 5 matchup. So many exciting matchups all over the field. And I'm glad you brought up head coach Marcus Freeman for Notre Dame. First year head coach. He was previously the defensive coordinator and linebackers coach at Notre Dame. And also, I didn't know this. Quick little note, Ohio State is his alma mater. He went to Ohio State.
Absolutely. He did play at Ohio State.
So, naturally, you playing against your old squad. You know what I mean? This is a little bit of extra juice you're going to have inside of you. Now, I agree. I think Ohio State's still going to get the W. But blowout fashion, I think it's going to be go down to the wire. I think it's going to be like a field goal, game-winning field goal, run off the field type situation. Yeah, it's going to be a good one, bro.
I'll tell you this, bro. If O State get into a pissing match with these guys and then get down to the wire or kicking the field goal, you can kiss it a goodbye for O State then.
Okay.
Because games like this, bro, if it's not Georgia, it's not O State. If it's not Georgia or if it's not Alabama, O State should literally be running past teams at this point if they want to get to the dance. Remember how Bama is they not seeing teams, bro. They running through teams until they get later into the season. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
I just want to see O State kind of really put their foot on next this year until they get to that dance. And I think they have the capability and the players to do that. So we'll see.
Oh, man. No, I feel you, man. I mean, it's just tough. I mean, what you're saying is right. Ultimately, if the goal is to win a national championship, you're going to be facing one of those powerhouses in the SEC. So, although we know Notre Dame is a great team, traditionally they're not at the level, of like a Bama. So it's if those games are close, as the Ohio State fan, you might feel are we really that great? But at the same time, as you mentioned, it's the first game of the season. So teams typically get better as the season goes. Granted, they stay healthy. So the first game, it's going to be some hiccups, some mistakes. And there's still, all right, let's make sure you say Notre Dame is overrated. I don't know if that's true or not. As you mentioned, they had a decent amount of transfers came over. They have a lot of 4-star, 5-star guys. So, they got some cats over there, too. A lot of NFL guys, too. So, we're going to see, man. I think Ohio State's going to win the game. I think it's going to be close. But another game that I'm excited to see, Bolo, is number 11 Oregon versus number 3 Georgia. 12:30 game, Saturday. That's going to be an amazing matchup, man. I think Oregon was 10-4 last year.
They playing at 12, man.
Yeah, I know the time is a little off, but, man, it's going to be a great game. Oregon, they beat Ohio State last year, right? And open the season?
They did. Yep, early in the season.
Yes.
Oregon snuck up there to the shoe and took one away from them. And from there, it kind of knocked O State out of contentions for a little bit. And they tried to work their way back, but then obviously the Michigan loss set them all the way back. So
right.
But
Oregon's gonna come in ready to prove themselves. Yeah, they're ready to prove themselves, and obviously Georgia, they're reigning national champions. They got a lot to prove, and they're gonna want to be able to repeat, which is very tough to do because everybody's coming at your neck. as the reigning champions. Every game you got to be at your best because everybody's trying to knock out the champion.
Knock out the champion, man. So
yes,
it's interesting to see the offensive dynamic too, because obviously coming from, you know, more of the West Coast there, Oregon, they'll be in the spread, and, you know, Georgia, they just kind of downhill attack, kind of running down your throat there as well. So I'm kind of interested to see how Oregon's defense will respond to kind of the downhill play from Georgia. And then I'm interested to see how the defensive backs from Georgia is going to be able to play these guys, because, you know, they're going to come out and spread and throw the ball. Oregon's going to throw the ball. So I'm interested to see how these DBs is going to operate. So it's going to be an exciting weekend, man. I think whoever put the games together, the way they put them together, it is definitely building up the excitement. And I'm excited to see how these things pan out.
Man, most definitely, man. Most definitely. So we shall see, man. Very exciting football weekend. But we're going to pivot from football and talk about another sport, and another legend, actually.
I don't know.
One of the greatest athletes of all time, Serena Williams. She announced, I believe it was last week, that she was, you know, that this U.S. Open was going to be her last tournament before she retired. So this is it. And, you know, me, you know, myself, Bolo, you know, we're both young adults here, and pretty much our entire life, Serena Williams has been dominating, literally, our entire lives. So to hear that she's about to retire, just a lot of emotions hit me. And I just want to ask you, man, what would you say is Serena Williams' impact on the world of sports? Not just tennis, her impact on sports.
Man, I think it's an incredible impact, like you said, just to anybody in general. Like, here you have, you know, a Black girl, you know, obviously with Venus too. Yep. You know, they came in and took this game over by storm. You know, I think she didn't have like 73 singles that she's won. You know, so they're highly decorated in, you know, what they do in the community, and how they serve, and how they give back, and, you know, how they want people that look like them to continue to succeed is just something that's just very admirable. So like you said, like growing up, bro, like she's been doing it since they've been, you know, knee high, like 6 years old, and, you know, been doing it before a lot of people have been born. So, you know, when I think about tennis, and I'm not gonna lie to you and say like, hey, I'm an avid tennis watcher and I love tennis. Like, I'm not a tennis fan, but I watch the game because of Serena Williams. Like, she gives me the will to go, let me turn the TV on. Serena Williams is playing tennis. Like, I'm a fan of her, just because she's extremely, like, she works extremely hard. Like, she gives her all. She's passionate. You know, it sounds like from, you know, other people that is around her, like she's a good person. You know, so I mean, who wouldn't want to have somebody like that, you know, leading the way, and obviously somebody who's a good person being successful. So it's definitely one of those things where it kind of it ages you a little bit, and you're like, damn, like certain people like that you just think are supposed to just do what they do forever.
Right.
So stepping away is just like, damn, like, wow.
Yeah.
So now it's Naomi Osaki's turn to step up and make something happen.
No, for sure. I mean, there's a few young, you know, Black women in the sport, you know, Coco Gauff, another really young one who's shining as well. So, and I would have to say, man, and I'm sure they would agree to this, or probably have already, that Serena Williams has had a huge impact and been a huge inspiration for them on playing the sport. You know what I'm saying? You got, you know, Serena, and also Venus as well, of course. Two young Black women from Compton, grew up, you know, pretty big family, in a small home, didn't have much, but they had each other. They had a family, and they had belief, and they worked extremely hard. And Serena has became, to me, the greatest tennis player of all time. And I would argue, men or women. And now when I say that, I'm not saying like if she played against the men, she would win. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying when you take how great she is within the women's tennis a sport, I don't think there's a man that's as dominant or as great on the man's side. Now that's up for debate consistently, man. But and that's up for debate, of course. But nevertheless, man, Serena has just been a huge inspiration to not only just young Black women. I mean, even as a young man myself, as a athlete myself, growing up playing football, you look up to people like that who, you know, have similar backgrounds or look like you, and to see someone be so dominant and tenacious and to like basically like she never let her circumstances dictate her success. She always found a way to continue to grow, continue to be the best, and continue to push herself. And it's a mentality that she has. I feel like it's kind of tough to tap into, but if you are able to tap into, you can see how great you can be. So, I mean, shout out to Serena Williams. She is a legend. I don't know if legend's even we need a word bigger than legend to describe what Serena Williams is. And I just wish her nothing but success on the other side.
Absolutely. And I know, obviously this is pre-recorded, but Monday I seen her dominate the U.S. Open in the first round. And I know Wednesday, she'll be competing in the second round versus a very strong competitor. So, obviously if she takes an L and she loses, that'll probably be the end, for Serena Williams and her career. But I definitely was excited to see that first round matchup and her win, and just see all the other celebrities in the stands supporting her, man. I seen Offset, I seen Queen Latifah, Mike Tyson, Spike Lee. Like, it was just a lot of people in there just showing her love. And, sometimes too, like we tend to give people their flowers when they're away. So, when she won that match, it was just Billie Jean was down there to obviously greet her and talk about how much of an impact she had on the sport. So they were just giving her flowers while she was alive, man. So I just really appreciate that, and glad that, we were able to, see her and watch people celebrate her as she wraps up a hell of a career.
Yes, I second everything you just said, man. Shout out to Serena Williams. And hey, we'll see, man. Hopefully she's able to, I won't even say shock the world, but hopefully she has one more trick up her sleeve, and we'll be talking again next podcast about how she won it all. So we shall see. Yeah. We shall see. But let's switch over to the NFL. Very controversial top 100 list, but I want to focus specifically on the top 10 list of NFL players going into this 2022-2023 season. Obviously, the top 100 players is actually voted by the players, so it is a very legit list. But I ain't gonna lie, Bolo, I had some disagreements with the top 10 guys. So let me say this: number 1 is Tom Brady.
Right.
I think that's false, and I'll explain why I think he shouldn't be right there. Number 2, Aaron Donald.
Yep.
Number 3, Aaron Rodgers. Number 4, Cooper Kupp. Number 5, my guy, Jonathan Taylor. Come on now. Number 6, TJ Watt. Number 7, Devontae Adams. Number 8, Patrick Mahomes. Number 9, Jalen Ramsey. And number 10, Travis Kelce. Strong 10. Strong group of guys. I just think the order needs to be shifted a little bit, Bolo.
Okay, so I'll give you the floor, and I will ask you,
why
don't you think Tom Brady deserves the number 1 spot?
Man, listen, Tom Brady had a great season last year. Let me say that. He was in the conversation for MVP. He could have possibly won MVP, and a lot of people wouldn't have been upset about that. I wouldn't have been upset about that. He had the numbers to back it. But they go to the playoffs. They lose. It was a pretty good game, but they took an L. Tom Brady, in his offseason, decides to retire. He wants to hang it up. A week later, I don't know if it was even a week. The man says, "Never mind, I want to come back." Decides to come back, and now all of a sudden, we just assume he's the number 1 player in the league. He didn't win the Super Bowl last year. Didn't even make it to the Super Bowl last year. The man retired during the offseason, which means your head is kind of like 1 foot in, 1 foot out.
Yeah.
He comes back, which is great. But now you got him at number 1. Now listen, top 5, cool, great. I would agree. Definitely top 10. I would say top 5. But number 1? And listen, and this ain't no Tom Brady hate. Like, we got love for Tom Brady. Tom Brady gonna be working at Fox next year, or whenever he decides to officially hang him up. So shout out to Tom Brady. But I'm just saying number 1. I think my guy Aaron Donald should have been number 1. He made the plays to officially close out the Super Bowl. Big time sacks, big time quarterback pressure to end the game, running on the field. Ring me. And I'm just tired of defensive linemen not getting the love and respect that we deserve. We are a very important position. There's nobody who's ever played the position like Aaron Donald has. He's dominant. I don't care if you triple team him, quadruple team him, he's still making plays. And to me, after winning the Super Bowl championship last year, he deserves to be number one. I'm tired of my guy getting number 2, number 3. Every single year, it's something else. Give my man his flowers. He deserves number 1. I'm done, Bolo.
Hey, I would say legitimately, like, for the first time, like, I agree with you 100%. Just on the cases where I just think those two just need to flip. Where Aaron Donald needs to be number 1 and Tom Brady needs to be number 2 for that simple reason that he won a championship. And he had a very, very big role in that defense and getting them to that point. The guy literally is the foundation of that defense. You know what I mean? QB rushes, QB sacks, tackle for losses, changing the line of scrimmage. Like, he does it all. And I think that truly affects how linebackers play and how the defensive backs play too, based upon how the D-line plays. And he did a great job. And for him to win the championship, finally, for him to get a championship, he had 2 defensive player of the years. Like, it was just something that it needed to just be added to, you know, his arsenal, like something that he just needed in his bag. And he got it. And he should have just been number 1 just off the rip of him taking his team to the championship. Now, I am not mad, though, that Tom Brady is number 1 just because this guy is 44, 45 years old, still competing at a high level.
No,
now,
amazing.
If anybody remembers the Bucs game, Tom Brady had a horrible first quarter, but this guy was persistent and resilient and brought them back all the way to the end of the game, and they were a play away from actually going to the dance. If Welder would have not step up and let Cooper Kupp run up the seam and throw the ball over his head, I truly believe that Tom Brady would have took the next drive and really scored, because the momentum of that game, if you remember, in the second half, momentum flipped. So now the Rams were just kind of at a point where they were like, okay, we're just battling to make sure that Tom Brady doesn't get in the end zone again. And I truly believe if the defensive backs would have done their job and gave Tom Brady the ball back, it'll be a whole different conversation. For that point alone of them getting there, and they didn't get there.
So if was a fifth, we all be drunk. I got a lot of scenarios.
That's why I'm okay with that. I'm okay with him being switched with Aaron Donald. But at the same time, like you said, when they vote on the top 100, it is voted by peers. You know what I mean? So these guys are voting for Tom Brady because they know this guy is still playing at a high level and he is dissecting teams left and right. And this is what he does, man. And I'm not gonna lie and say it might have been like a political thing where it's Tom Brady, you know what I mean? And he's doing his thing. So people are just gonna vote for him off the rip. Does age play a factor in it? I think that age may play a factor in it as well. You know, so there's a lot of other different, miscellaneous items that I think can go into Tom Brady in his bag to help him get, obviously into the top 5 greatest players
going through the season.
The season. So, he's a 7-time. Come on, y'all.
Stop right there. That's the problem. Subconsciously, we always want to look at his entire career. We're talking about this season.
But he's still competing, though, at the highest level.
Top 5 is cool.
Not number 1. Got to the NFC Championship, bro, and was literally a play away from getting there. He didn't get there. I understand. If it was a 5th, I get that. But the fact that he came back and could have beat the Rams in that fucking game, that was no fault to him because the defense failed him at that point. Come on, man. You still got to respect
him. No fault to him.
But
when they win, though, it's all because of Tom Brady. You know why it is a fault to him? Because they had a bad first quarter. Without the bad first quarter, they wouldn't have been in that hole anyway.
He wasn't in the they was in the hole, and what happened? He got him out of the hole.
And not enough. They were still in there a little bit.
They needed one stop. They was going to drive the ball. So,
but if he had a good first quarter, they wouldn't have needed that one stop, Bolo. We can't forget about. We love the comeback story and the persistence.
The whole game, though. I'm looking at the whole thing.
I hear you. But listen, if that's the case, then why is Josh Allen should be ranked ahead of Patrick Mahomes? Then you know why? Because the same type of situation. Josh Allen had the game of his life. 13 seconds left, though. Mahomes drove. Well, if Josh Allen, it didn't happen.
It didn't happen. But I'm on the same page with you though. If they stop Tyreek Hill, you know what I'm saying, or they stop Travis Kelce, then they got a chance. Get the ball back to Josh Allen and let him do his thing. Now, if he loses that drive, if Tom Brady was driving and they lost the game, then I'm like, okay, that's on Tom. If Josh Allen had the ball and he was driving, they lost the game, then that's on Josh. But now I'm putting it on defense. That's why defense is the hardest position, the hardest side of the ball to play, because it's always on that. Always on your back. So I'm blaming the Bills defense and I'm blaming the Rams defense for both of those losses.
Or you mean the Bucks defense?
I'm sorry. Yeah, the Bucks defense and also the Bills defense on both those losses. And that's just how defense is. I'm a defensive guy. And just
I am too.
It's always gonna fall on the defensive end, especially if you're moving the ball a little bit. Don't score a couple points now on offense. If you score a couple points on offense, everything else is gonna fall on defense.
I feel you, man. But listen, another reason why Aaron Donald should be number one is because they literally the team that the Bucks lost against was Aaron Donald's team. So it's like, dang, we went face to face, we went head up, and my squad won. For whatever reason, we know it's a team game. We know it's not literally Tom Brady versus Aaron Donald. Of course, there's so many factors that go into it, but that goes into the storyline though. Like my team knocked out your team, and then my team went on to win a Super Bowl, in which I played a major role in why we won that. And I want to also correct one little thing I noticed earlier when you were your first lap. You said my guy Aaron Donald was a 2-time Defensive Player of the Year winner. He's actually a 3-time. He's a 3-time Defensive Player of the Year, making him one of 3 players in NFL history to win it 3 times. Shout out to LT and shout out to JJ Watt. So I'm just saying, this guy Aaron Donald, I just feel like as a former D lineman, and sure, call me biased. I don't care. I'm biased. Defensive lineman, and specifically defensive tackle, interior defensive lineman, don't get the love that we deserve. The casual fans who watch the sport don't understand how important the defensive line position is. I would argue that outside of quarterback, in today's game, the next most important position on the football field is having a great pass rusher. Because you're the guy who's stopping the quarterback.
I agree. Having a pass rusher, having somebody to set the line of scrimmage, having somebody to rush the quarterback and add pressure in a passing league, it definitely adds value and helps out the rest of the back 7 or 8. So I'm not saying that I don't agree with you, but like I said, the top hunter is voted by the peers, and the commissioner ain't vote for him. The fans ain't vote for him. The people that's playing against him every Sunday voted for him. So
disrespect. Disrespect, Bolo.
Hey, and I also will say too, even though D-line don't be getting their credit, I think as of recently though, like there has been a lot of D linemen in the conversations of being like defensive player of the year, or being TJ Watt, you know what I mean? Guys like, you know, his brother, JJ Watt.
Well, he won 3 of them. JJ Watt's a Hall of Famer. He's won 3 himself.
That's what I'm saying. Like the conversation of the D linemen, it's starting to continue to spark though.
But bro, we have to play out of our mind to get in the conversation. It's like, damn.
I get that, but y'all are in the conversation though. Like y'all, like especially like the edge rusher now is kind of like that position. Like people look at that position like, wow, like that is like you got to be that person to play that position. So for the D line to have that special position, you know, and it takes a special person to play that position. I mean, it says a lot of like how that whole front interior is starting to evolve. You know what I'm saying? So I think y'all are still getting there. Y'all not where y'all want to be as far as like where the skill guys are, but y'all damn near close though. I'll be pretty honest with you, bro. Like the way some of these guys are looking nowadays, as far as their body types and the way they're getting off the ball and being able to run with guys, man. I mean, in the next couple of years, bro, I definitely would definitely see these guys being in the conversations with the skill guys too. You know what I'm saying?
I think the time has to be now, though. That's all I'm saying, man. And listen, I know I'm being a little extra. Like, Darnell, he's number 2. I understand, but part of my frustration is you look at 2021, the top 100 players, he was number 2 behind Patrick Mahomes. You look at 2020, he was number 3 behind Russell Wilson and then Lamar Jackson, which I'm not mad because Lamar was the unanimous MVP. I'm not mad the year. But my point is, what more do you want from me? What more does Aaron Donald have to do? The man got 12 and a half sacks last year from the interior. From the end. I don't think people understand, Bolo. Like, I played defensive tackle, and I was a decent player. When you're the guy and you're in the interior, you're getting double team, triple team by both guards, the center, the tackle might crack down on you. And to still get 12 and a half sacks when they know you're the guy, when they whole entire game plan the whole week is to stop Aaron Donald in the interior, when there's limited space and you got 12 and a half, year before they got 13 and a half. This man has been an all-pro Pro Bowler every single season, I think, outside of his very first year. Like, hey. I just don't know, like, what if he's not number one last year or this season, then he'll never be number one. And that's my only problem with it.
Hey, I'm with you when you're right, bro. I understand, bro. He's the best. He's the best football player, bro, to play that position. That's just in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, one or two, like, he gonna compete. And I'm glad the Rams paid the man and got him to stick around because he gonna continue to do what he do. Now, I will say this though. I love Aaron Donald. That's my boy. Tell him to chill with grabbing the helmets off of the heads of the Cincinnati Bengals, bro. And he's swinging, bro. He's swinging for the fence, bro. He could have committed murder, bro, the way he was swinging them helmets.
To defend my guy, though, all we saw was a 10-second clip. Me and you both know we're both players.
Fast.
Okay. But we both are former players, and we both been in situations where players are fighting. We probably have been in fight. I'm not saying I'm not validating or saying he should have did. You're right. He shouldn't have took helmets off and swung them, regardless. But we don't know what was done to him or said to him prior to that point. That's all I'm gonna say. So let's come on. We know how to. And O-lineman, bro, I'm gonna tell you firsthand. O-lineman, some dirty ass. They be talking crazy on that field, and they do some dirty stuff. And listen, they got the Bengals versus the Rams. You got the Super Bowl rematch. Yeah, they shouldn't even have these two teams practicing against each other. It's hostility. So, but hold on, bro. I got some breaking news real quick. We talked about Serena Williams a little bit earlier today. We know this is pre-recorded. She actually upset the number 2 overall seed. Just won in this next round. She is advancing. So, hey, I don't know. Hey. Serena Williams, man, shout out to the queen.
Hey, we got more tennis to play. We got more tennis to watch. I'm watching it. It's so crazy. And then, like, I really watched the game on Monday when she played in the first round. And I'm just listening to the commentators, bro. It's really like terminology that come behind tennis too, like backhand and the speed of the ball and the counters and stuff. Like, it's really like
some serious business.
You really got to get coached up, like, for real. Like, but shout out to Serena Williams though, man. Like you said, she's confident, bro. Like, ain't nothing that you want to do impossible. Like, you can do anything you want to do in this world, and she is a complete, like, thought of that. Like, when you think about doing anything, think about Serena Williams and look at her. She's still going.
Bro, she might go out like Ray Lewis did, man, and go out with a W, bro. I've been keeping up with this during the podcast, looking on the Twitter, looking at all the updates. She was down, bro. Came back. And beat the number 2 seed. And from what I'm hearing, the number 1 overall seed has already been eliminated. She just beat the number 2 seed.
For the win, the next match may not be as bad as the match that she just had now. So we may see something.
I might throw a Serena Williams
I'm gonna have to watch the next match. I gotta figure out what time the next match come on. Cause she going to the 3rd round, right?
I might get me a yacht, bro, on Newport Beach. And throw a Serena Williams, bro. Yeah, you don't know about Newport Beach, bro. You scared to come out to LA. You don't know about Newport Beach. Yeah.
No, man. Here you go. I'm gonna make that trip though. Don't worry about it.
LA, he's scared to come out here. But hey, y'all, let's wrap up the show, man. Final segment. We always like to end on something fun. And this is a random topic, bro. This was in my group chat earlier today. I thought it was a fun topic. My guy Stefan asked the chat this. He said, guys, if you had 5 minutes to spend $5,000, what would you do? And I thought it was a very interesting question, and it was a tough question because I'm like, it depends which Darnell you're talking to. You're talking to the mature version. I'll probably put that $5,000 into my index fund. You know, I'm thinking about long-term investment. I'm trying to think about, compound interest and let my money grow and yada, yada, yada. If you're talking about the immature, just having fun, Darnell, come on, baby. We going to Hawaii. Come on, baby. We going to Italy. Come on, baby. We going on a trip. We going somewhere with the $5,000, period.
We going on a trip. We taking it. We flying out. We flying out. We quick with it too. And you know me, I'm extra.
It's only 5 minutes, so you got to book it quick, Bolo. It's 5 minutes. You got to book it like immediately.
I'm going to book it quick. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go ahead and find the nearest club that be popping, right? And go ahead and give me a section.
Ooh, bottles.
Right, we popping bottles in there real quick. That's That's the old Bolo. New Bolo, shit. You know, I'm all in my investment and shit. So if I get $5,000, I might go ahead and give me 3 or 4 vending machines and go ahead and flip those and make a little bit of bread, bro. Get some of that residual income going. So that's how we coming right now, y'all. All right, so it's all about residual income investing, you know what I'm saying? Making sure that your kids and your kids' got bread. You know what I'm saying? We can't be out here, you know what I mean, leaving our kids for none. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna have everything that they want. You know what I'm saying? That's a whole other conversation though.
Now you preaching.
$5,000, 5 minutes. Oh, Bolo, hey, it's mine. I spend it. It's mine. I spend it, like 2 Chainz say. But hey, Bolo, now though, I'm gonna go ahead and put it in my kids' my little UGMA account. You know what I'm saying? Get them going. Throw it in their little college fund, or go ahead and put it in the sun where I know I can get it back.
My boy was spitting that thing, bro. It's funny you said vending machines, Bolo. I've been Googling and researching, watching YouTube video. I just started a Google Doc, wrote down each step of how to get a vending machine business started. I've been thinking about doing it for my side hustle. So it's crazy how you just said that. It's crazy how God works. This is the Porch, man. We out here grind. My boy said, listen, he said back in the days, I would have grabbed the money like this. Do it like magic. He said, now, mature Bolo, I'm putting it in the your dig account for the kids and the kids.
Boom, 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 and let it woody ooh and ooh, and my kids gonna be like, ooh, you feel what I'm saying? Oh, yeah. Hey, man, we love y'all, man. We appreciate the love and support, man. Please like, share, subscribe, follow us, The Porch Podcast _ on Instagram. We also on TikTok. We also on YouTube. So go ahead and show love. It don't cost $1 to show love. All right. So tell a friend that this is The Porch Podcast. And every time we end the show, just know the best you
is the best you. Get your chicken from Indianapolis and we out.
Gosh, peace.
Started on the porch, that was where it all began. Had to put in work, every day we got it in. We chased all our dreams and now they can't believe it. We make it look easy, we achieving everything we need. Now we undefeated.
Presented by Bet Online.